Imagine, just for a moment, that you're standing at the edge of a beautiful, vast ocean. The waves roll in, calmly and steadily, as they have for centuries. And as you stand there, you notice how easy it is to take in the gentle rhythm of the waves, how the air feels as it wraps around you, moving in ways that are perfectly in sync with your own natural rhythm. Now, as you focus on the ocean, you might find yourself becoming aware of something you hadn't really thought about before. The infinite potential of that ocean, the power it holds, its endless energy, just like your own abilities and resources. What if you could see in this moment that you have a deep, endless well of resources inside you? A well that's just waiting to be tapped into. Imagine how easy it would be to draw from that well with such effortless grace every time you need to. Every time you feel a little uncertain or overwhelmed, you simply breathe in and trust everything you need is already available to you. Imagine how it would feel to feel truly supported, not just by the world around you, but by your own inner strength, your own innate ability to adapt, to grow, to find the solutions that serve both you and those around you. And as you breathe deeply, you may notice the fears, the worries, the doubts you once held about your own ability to support yourself and others begins to dissolve like fog lifting from morning landscape. They begin to lose their power as you realize the more you connect to others, the more you deepen your connection with yourself. And the deeper your connection with others, the more you discover that you're already capable, that you've always been capable of offering both support and receiving support in return. What if, in fact, the very act of connecting to others unlocks even more resources, more energy, more creativity within you, in ways that are completely unexpected? What if, by simply letting go of the belief that you have to do it all alone, you allow the universe to help you, to guide you, to provide you with exactly what you need, exactly when you need it? And as you allow this new awareness to settle in, perhaps you notice how easy it is to feel secure, to feel empowered, to feel you're not only capable of supporting yourself, but of supporting others in ways that feel natural, effortless, and truly satisfying. Imagine how it feels to realize you don't have to be perfect, that the value you bring to others doesn't depend on some idealized version of yourself, but instead comes from your genuine presence, your open heart, your willingness to be vulnerable, to connect deeply. Feel that feeling of freedom and ease, that feeling of release, as you recognize the act of supporting others doesn't drain you, it expands you, brings you closer to the truth of who you really are. And the more you allow yourself to step into this truth, the more you realize you're already a source of support. Every conversation, every gesture, every moment you share with another person strengthens the bond between you, increasing your sense of self-worth, and reminds you of your capacity to give and receive, to thrive in connection. Isn't it fascinating to consider how your capacity to give is limitless, and how each time you connect, you create an even greater flow of energy? And just like a river that naturally finds its way to nourish everything it touches, you too can trust your support will find its way to the right place, in the right way, at the right time. Now, as you breathe in once more, you may notice you're beginning to reframe the old belief, the one that said you weren't capable, that you couldn't support yourself or others. Because now, the more you allow yourself to settle into your true power, the more you realize you're always capable. You've always been capable. It was never about being perfect. It's always about being open, being willing, and allowing the natural flow of life to support you. And in this moment, you might find the more you trust in your ability to connect, the more you trust in your ability to receive, the more you trust in your ability to support, the more you effortlessly realize your capacity to handle anything that comes your way expands with each breath, with each thought, with each connection that you make. In fact, you may even find it easy, so easy to support not just yourself but others, because you've discovered the one thing that makes all the difference, that you're worthy of support, that you're already supported, and the more you give, the more you receive. And so, as this new belief gently takes root, you can allow yourself to trust the universe has a way of bringing you everything that you need at the perfect moment. You can trust the very act of connecting with others will always open new pathways, new resources, new possibilities. And as you continue to feel the sense of expansion, you may begin to realize you're not only capable of supporting yourself and others, you're already doing it in ways you may not even fully recognize. But they're powerful, real, and completely natural. And with every passing moment, this realization grows stronger. Every breath you take helps to reinforce this new sense of certainty, of empowerment, of trust. And now, as you embrace this new belief, you might even find the fears and the doubts about your own capacity fade away, replaced by a deep sense of inner strength, inner peace, and the knowledge that you're always supported, always capable, and always ready to support those around you. As this new way of thinking becomes second nature, you can feel how much more open and confident you are in every area of your life, knowing the more you give, the more you receive. And the act of connecting is always the key to unlocking greater joy, greater fulfillment, and greater success in everything you do. So now, as you continue to relax, you might find it easy to let your attention shift gently, effortlessly, to the realization that all these thoughts, all these beliefs that you've held about not being able to support yourself or others, they're beginning to feel lighter, almost like a weight being lifted off your shoulders. So light, in fact, you can hardly even recall where they came from, as if those old beliefs were never truly yours to begin with. You can start to feel, just beneath the surface, a new, more empowering belief quietly forming, one that's growing stronger with each breath you take, each moment you allow yourself to settle into the natural flow of life. So almost as if this new belief is an invisible thread weaving itself into the fabric of your very being, gently and subtly, bringing you the deep knowing that you are, and have always been, more than capable of supporting yourself and others. And it's interesting just noticing how easy it is to change, how effortlessly you can access new ways of thinking, new ways of being, when you allow yourself the space to shift. It's almost like shifting gears in a car, so smooth, so seamless. Your mind simply adjusts to the new, higher frequencies of thinking, feeling, and being. With every thought, you can feel the clarity unfolding. Every deep breath you take seems to loosen up all those little pockets of doubt, of worry. And as they fade, you can begin to sense deep inside that you have all the resources that you need. Just like a plant naturally grows towards the sunlight, you can now notice how your mind naturally grows towards this new belief. You may even feel it expanding, as if it's not just a thought anymore, but something much more real, like a solid foundation, ready to support everything you do. Every action you take from now on is grounded in this deep knowing that you're supported, and that support, both giving and receiving, comes easily and naturally to you. And as you begin to realize how much easier it is to receive support, how simple it is to ask for help when you need it, you may notice something surprising. The more you allow yourself to receive, the more freely and easily you're able to give. It's almost as if the act of giving becomes effortless, like breathing. You're giving from a place of fullness, not emptiness. You're giving from an abundant source, one that's always replenished, always available. Isn't it fascinating to feel how that works? And just like the ocean, with its limitless waves, there's an endless flow of energy and support available to you. You may notice how easy it is to be in flow, how much more natural it feels to let things come to you, to let things move through you. The more you connect with others, the more you give yourself permission to let them support you, the more your capacity to support them grows. It's like a gentle cycle, a positive feedback loop that continually builds on itself, growing stronger and more expansive every time you connect. Now, you might notice the more you focus on what's possible, the more you feel the foundation beneath you strengthening, that inner knowing that you're always supported. You don't need to be perfect, because perfection isn't necessary. You don't need to have it all figured out, because you trust the process. Trust your own ability to navigate what comes your way. The more you trust yourself, the more you know that support is always just a breath away. Isn't it fascinating how, when you start trusting yourself, you begin to realize there's a natural flow to everything. The more you allow yourself to trust the universe, the more you're able to give and receive without strain, without resistance. It's almost as if your life is a beautiful dance. Each step brings you closer to a deeper sense of security, peace and ease. Now you can begin to feel this belief that you're both capable of supporting yourself and others. It's already taking root at the deepest, most unconscious level. This belief is becoming your new foundation, more solid with every passing moment. And as it settles, you may realize how much easier it is to open up to others, to connect deeply, to give of yourself, to trust you have the ability to make a difference, to support and be supported, because you now know deep inside that you're both worthy of support and a natural, powerful source of support to others. You might even notice, as you think about your ability to support those you care about, how light and easy it feels now, how your natural sense of connection just flows without any effort. You give without hesitation, knowing, in giving, you're not depleting yourself, but enriching yourself. You're not losing energy, but gaining energy. Because the more you give, the more you receive. And the more you receive, the more you can give. And notice how, with each breath you take, each moment you experience, this belief is becoming so natural, so automatic. It's starting to feel as though you've always known it, always had it. It's not something you need to try to hold on to anymore. It's simply who you are, simply how things work. The more you connect, the more you give, the more you receive, the more you trust that support is all around you. The more you notice how everything you need to support yourself and others is always available to you. Isn't it amazing to see how all these pieces come together so beautifully? How the moment you stop resisting, the moment you stop believing you have to do everything alone, the more support flows to you from every direction, effortlessly, abundantly, naturally. And now, as you continue to relax into this understanding, you can sense at the deepest level of your mind that everything you need is already here, and that by being open to connection, you've unlocked something powerful, something that will continue to grow, continue to expand in ways that feel joyful, effortless and empowering. And as you breathe deeper in this knowing, you can let this new sense of ease, of security, of possibility settle into every cell of your being, becoming an automatic part of who you are. The more you connect, the more you receive, the more you give, the more you know that you're not only capable of supporting yourself and others, but that you're already doing it. And that is natural, easy, and just a part of the flow of your life. And as these new beliefs integrate, the more you realize there's nothing you need to do except trust in the flow, trust in the connection, and trust in the endless abundance that's always available to you. So as you continue to breathe, noticing how each breath becomes deeper, more effortless, more naturally aligned with your sense of peace. It's as if every breath you take brings you closer to an understanding, a deep knowing that everything you need is always available to you. It's almost like your mind, as it drifts deeper into this state of comfort. It's gently reorganizing itself, aligning with the understanding that you're always supported. And as you reflect on this, you might notice how, when you stop trying to force things, when you let go of the need to control, life begins to unfold effortlessly, as if every step you take is guided by an invisible hand, always bringing you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. And isn't it interesting just to notice how the more you allow yourself to connect with others, the more you realize that you're supported in ways you never truly imagined. Perhaps just for a moment you can imagine a time in the past when you felt truly supported, whether by someone, by an event, or even by a deep inner knowing. And notice how that feeling of support, that sensation of being held, it's not limited to that moment, but rather it's an ongoing, expanding experience. It's always been there, always flowing, as natural as the air you breathe. The moment you open up yourself, the moment you give yourself permission to connect, you find the support you need. It's always there. And now in this peaceful space, what if you could begin to realize that support is not something you have to earn, not something you need to prove, but rather something you allow, allowing yourself to receive, allowing yourself to give, knowing that every connection that you make naturally amplifies your sense of inner strength. And the more you allow that strength to expand, the more you realize it's not just your own, it's a collective strength. When you give, you receive. When you receive, you give. And the more you believe in this flow, the more natural it becomes. Feel that ease now, as you realize you can support yourself without straining, without effort. It's as if your mind is beginning to rewire itself effortlessly, smoothly, aligning with a new understanding. The more you connect, the more you share. The more support flows towards you, in ways you may not even fully recognize, but that are always available. And isn't it interesting to consider how much easier everything becomes when you allow yourself to trust in that support, trust in the natural flow of energy that moves through you. As you listen, as you experience this new perspective on support and connection, you may begin to notice that you've always had everything you need within you. It's as if a deep unconscious shift is taking place right now. The kind of shift that feels natural, inevitable, as though it's always been a part of you. Every thought you think, every belief you have, every decision that you make, it's now coming from a place of certainty that you're not just capable, but easily capable of supporting yourself and others in ways that feel effortless and empowering. Notice how, as you continue to relax, you can feel the energy of this new belief beginning to circulate freely within you. It's like a light turning on, shining bright, bringing clarity to everything you do. With every breath, every thought, you realize, the more you allow yourself to connect, the more you realize that connection is powerful. The more you support others, the more you realize supporting yourself is just as natural, just as simple. Isn't it fascinating how you now begin to feel the support around you in ways that feel subtle and yet undeniable? And as you embrace this new understanding, you might notice every part of you begins to align with it. You might notice the belief that you cannot support others. It's no longer a part of who you are. It's almost like a picture fading from view, leaving behind only the clear truth. You're always supported, and you're always capable of supporting others. The more you trust in this, the more your life begins to reflect this new truth. Every moment you step into the world, you feel an effortless confidence in your ability to navigate, to contribute, to be present with others. You realize that, in fact, the more you connect with others, the more support you receive, and the more support you give. This isn't a one-way street. It's an endless, flowing cycle that naturally expands, and now becomes easier to see the fear you once had of not being able to support yourself or others was simply an old belief, one that no longer has any power over you. It's almost like a shadow that disappears as the light of your awareness shines brighter, the more you open up to others, the more you realize the act of giving and receiving is not a drain, but an energy exchange that revitalizes, nourishes, and strengthens you. And notice how, with each thought, with each breath, you realize you've always had the ability to support yourself and others. The only thing you need to do is to allow, to trust it, and let it flow. This belief, now deeply embedded, becomes part of your automatic way of being. It's simply who you are, capable, supported, and ever growing in your ability to support and be supported. It's empowering to see how easy it is to trust this new way of being, this natural flow of energy and connection. With each moment, you find yourself noticing more and more how the universe brings you the support you need, and how in turn you're effortlessly able to support those around you. This is the new truth, and it's already becoming who you are. And the more you allow this belief to integrate into every part of you, the more it becomes the lens through which you see the world. Now you know deeply and unconsciously that you're always supported, and you're always capable, and that connection is the key to unlocking even greater support, flow, and ease in your life. It's almost like stepping into a new reality, a reality where support is always available to you, and you're always empowered to support others. And now, as you experience this, you may feel that deep sense of freedom, that quiet certainty, as if everything is falling into place, and you're exactly where you need to be, in perfect alignment with everything that's yours to receive and to give. With every breath, every thought, every step, you're more deeply grounded in the truth that you're capable, you're supported, and the more you give, the more you receive, and the more you connect, the more you continue to grow in strength and ease. This truth is yours, and is deeply embedded within you.